My name is Caleb Lawrence. This year, I turned 20, which is a pretty big deal to me because at this point, I thought I'd have my future all figured out. But the reality is, I really have no idea what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. And when I tell people that, they tell me, oh, you're young, you have nothing but time, or, my personal favorite, you'll figure it out. And I see where they're coming from, but I thought to myself, if I have nothing but time, then why do I always feel like I'm running out of time? I always feel like I'm in a rush to do the next thing, whether it's at work, at home, or even with my friends. So, I took a long, hard look at myself and discovered that I'm living my personal greatest fear. And what's that? I'm glad you asked. One of my biggest fears is being sucked into a never-ending cycle, where you wake up, go to work, and come home too tired to do anything, so you end up just going to sleep.
Life in general is usually pretty normal. You kind of have a routine or a pattern you stick to, and it's just sort of the day-to-day experience.
Working on a never-ending cycle is one thing, but the cycle continues as soon as I get home. A lot of times, I find myself mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube.
This unhealthy dependent relationship we have with our phones is robbing us of our most creative selves.
In order to kick my 20s off right, I need to break that cycle and hit the reset switch. So, I've deleted TikTok, and I've taken the next 2 weeks off of work to explore the United States. We're at Wawa. I need to get gas. I also need ice and some food. I've reached the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Once I go through that toll booth, there's really no turning around. There's not really any place to turn around on the highway. So this is it. Well, after hours of driving, we made it to our first stop, the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's supposed to be a tunnel, like maybe a mile up. Probably already been walking for about a mile. Good thing I brought the skateboard, but I have to get all the way up there. So, it'll probably be a lot easier if I skate. I also haven't skated in a long time, and I've got a backpack full of heavy things. All the graffiti on the ground here is keeping me very entertained. That is incredible. It's almost kind of scary. The abandoned Turnpike is a place I've wanted to go to for quite a while now. Everywhere you go feels like it's a set from The Walking Dead or The Last of Us. This is really cool, but it's also absolutely terrifying. I mean, like, it's just a big black void, and it's so loud. I'm definitely gonna start heading back to the car now. I think I made some sort of mistake when I was planning this, because the next spot, I thought it was 4 hours away. It's actually 7 hours away. And it's already 4 or 3:30. I'm not gonna get there till 10. So, we better start moving. So, do you guys, I'm sure everyone has seen it by now, but there's this meme that has been going around truck for the past, like, forever. I'm driving right through it. every rest stop or every highway town in America looks the same, and I agree with it. So I figured it out. I figured out why it jumped to 6 or 7 hours instead of being 4. It's because I'm a dummy and I accidentally hit avoid highways on Google Maps. And so that's also why I've been on these weird looking back roads. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That just, oh my goodness. I haven't seen snow like this in years. It never snows in the Philadelphia area anymore. I am exhausted. I did not expect the second half of that journey to take like 6 or 7 hours. We're about 7 minutes away from the RV park that I'm going to for tonight, but I don't have any food. I also don't have any water, so I need to stop at a grocery store and get some of that stuff, and hopefully there's no issues checking in my car to an RV park. I don't think there should be any issues, but we'll find out. Okay, I made it here. Not what I expected. It looks a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. And it's late, so I really can't talk too much. So I'm gonna go to bed, plug in my car in and get everything set up, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning. Today is day 2. It's like 9:16. It was, you know what, that wasn't the worst sleep I've ever had, but it definitely wasn't the best. I still need to get groceries. I just put that off because I procrastinate everything, so. It's also snowing outside. West Virginia just seems to have a never-ending supply of snow. But I never showed anybody what this inside of my vehicle looks like, so. That's kind of the trunk area. It's the only open window I have. I kind of fit all the way. Like, I just need to scrunch up a little bit, but it's a little outlet right there. It's a little bit of a mess, but I mean, I don't have a big car, so it is what it is. All of these coats, when I was walking out of my house yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need a million coats. I did not, so I'm gonna put them in a bag and put them in the thingy out there. And then I have my cooler here. That's a heated sleeping bag. That's a pillow, and that's my cat. This RV park was nothing fancy. Probably wouldn't stay here for more than one night. Good thing I brought my shower shoes though, because this was definitely one of the quickest showers I've ever taken. But just like that, it's time to pack up and head to the next spot. Our next stop is Camp Nelson, which is an abandoned bridge in Kentucky. If you couldn't tell, I'm going to a lot of abandoned things. I'm going to see a lot of abandoned things, because I think they're cool. I have no idea where these dogs came from. They're just chilling. Look at this one, he's yelling at me. I don't know what to tell you, man. Oh, Roo. That guy's just sniffing around. I just like flying my drone and then a bunch of dogs just come out of nowhere. Okay. This is Kentucky. Look, I made some new friends, guys. He's got a lot to say. People often ask me why I choose to go to abandoned places like these. My answer to that is, who wouldn't want to experience this? Isn't this cool? This is awesome. Look at this. It's just the whole bridge. Alright, that was really cool. But I gotta get back on the road. I'm going to make it to my next spot before the sun goes down. We made it to Illinois right before sunset. But I decided to get a car wash, and this is what happens. I'm getting a car wash because I need it. I hit the back of my car. I hit the back of my trailer, and I think it broke. I think I broke a car wash. So I'm trying to get a car wash, and the car wash broke while I was in it. So my car is just covered in soap. I can't believe that happened. The owner told me not to come back. I don't think they have to worry about that because I live very, very far away. But holy crap, man. That was not fun. Let's go get some dinner. Wow, look at that sunset. That is freaking awesome. Let's get this fire going, I'm freezing. It's not very impressive just yet, but this is the first fire I've ever actually made by myself. Even though I used fire starters, it's okay. I also forgot to pack a camping chair, so here's footage of me dragging a big table. I spent the rest of the night enjoying the fire and cooking some raviolis. Then I took a shower and went to bed. By the way, the showers here were so much nicer. It is very cold outside. I don't want to get up because it's very nice and warm in here. But we have a lot of driving to do today, so I don't have a choice. I forced myself to get up because we have to drive from Illinois all the way to the border of Colorado. So, we better get going. Colorado, here we come. I am very tired, and I think I deserve a hotel. So, if they have rooms, I'm gonna stay at this, I think it's the Best Western Inn. And then we will see Colorado tomorrow. We're only 50 miles from Colorado, so I need some McDonald's breakfast. So, thank you. Have a nice day. Woo! Colorado! We made it to Colorado, and even though I'm so far away from home, the first thing this state reminded me of was home. These roads remind me a whole lot of Pennsylvania, holy moly. After I got off the bumpy interstate, I slowly made my way to our first stop. Whoa, that's the first mountain I've seen. Colorado is a place I've always wanted to go to. The sheer size of the mountains here is unlike anything I've ever experienced. I'm at the Royal Gorge right now. This place is pretty cool. I found it hard to leave, even though this was by far the coldest day I've had so far. It's super cold, but I don't even care. After taking it all in, I finally made my way north to see the final destination for this trip. The first thing I wanted to do was get to the top of the tallest mountain I could find. Since it had just been snowing earlier, the roads were icy and it only got worse the further up I went. But it was worth it because at the top I met this little guy and saw this amazing view. Standing on top of this mountain is when I realized how amazing it is that I'm 1,800 miles away from home, overlooking this entire national park. This also marks 5 days without scrolling through any social media, which really made me feel like I was on the right path to starting my 20s off right. What's better than eating a sandwich 10,000 feet up on a mountain? Nothing. That's insane. By this time, it was starting to get later, and I needed to go back to town to check into my cabin. On my way there, I ran into these guys. Look at this guy! Just walking around like he owns the place. I almost hit you. You almost beat— What? There's so many! Look at them all! He's gonna cross too. I didn't even see those guys over there. Goodbye, Stinkies! Alright, look at this. We got a little cabin. Look at this place. Oh, door. This is very cozy. It's called the honeymoon suite. I'm not on my honeymoon, but yeah, I can make it work. Holy crap, a kitchen. This place has a kitchen. I can actually make food. And there's a microwave. What's in here? Dishes! Holy crap. Silverware! Wow. This is like the first actual warm meal I've had in like 3 days. I love it. The soup tastes so much better than it should right now. And with that, I went to bed and woke up to another amazing day in the Rockies. Today is March 20th. We got a lot planned for today, so let's get rolling. Today is a special day because today is the day that I turned 20 years old. So with that, it was off to the mountains to do the last thing I needed to do before I could officially consider myself 20 years old. But before we start, we need to go back to 1 year ago today. March 20th, 2022. I got news that my friend Zoe took her life. I got pretty close with Zoe in my last few years of high school. After we graduated, we fell off contact. I guess we got too busy growing up. I didn't really hear anything from or about her until I heard the news. It hit me while I was driving to work the next day, and I still went to work even though I could barely manage to speak the whole day. And I was actually called into work on the day of her funeral, and I went right there afterwards. My point is, I never gave myself time to actually process what had happened. So, my 20s start here, by properly saying goodbye.
If you keep one hand on your past and one hand on your future, you'll never have either. To embrace tomorrow, you must let go of yesterday.
All things must pass. Goodbye, Zoe. These past 2 years have showed me two major things. One, life can change so dramatically in such a small amount of time. The next call you get could be life-changing news, or you could die in a car accident on your way home from work. And that's given me a lot to think about. It's also made me realize that I need to start living life the way that I want to live life. I need to spend the minutes, hours, and days that I have enjoying life and not taking it for granted, even if I'm getting yelled at by customers. And number two, I need to slow down. I need to give myself time to live in the moment. So, I broke the cycle. And even though I'm still not sure where the road will take me, maybe the path to finding my future starts by letting go of the past. And the best part about letting go is, after all these years, I'm finally realizing what it's like to live in the moment. And this is what it feels like.